Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. This is a bit of a new kind of video for me. I always love YouTube videos that are just like, kind of feels like you're hanging out with the person in the video. And as much as I love like a big production, I just thought that I would try something different. So we're just gonna do a little bit of makeup and do a little chatting. And I think maybe just bring you along to like the briefest of behind the scenes for a little photo shoot. It is my birthday tomorrow, so I thought this would be fun just to like do a little bit of glam and then take my last ever photo shoot pic of 23. I cannot believe. Okay, starting off with just a little bit of the e.l.f. primer. This is the Poreless Face Primer. Oh my gosh, this is my time to do like the classic YouTube. Why won't it track it? Ugh, whatever. Wasn't meant to be. I actually do really like this primer. It smells like eucalyptus and just really feels like a silky smooth finish on my face. Okay, next up, this is a newer foundation for me that I actually do really like. It's the Dream Radiant Liquid Maybelline. It does exactly what I need it to do. I don't need a super duper full coverage, but the shade and just the way it kind of sits on my skin really work for me. So yeah, it's interesting just to think about like what this last year has brought to me. This is my first full year out of college, first full year of like working, really. It wasn't full time for the whole time. I kind of fluctuated and things in the Corona times obviously have changed my work schedule, but on the whole, it's been a good year. It has not perhaps been like the whirlwind that I might have in a couple years back romanticized about like the first full year out of college. You know, I didn't like move to New York and start a new life and just like get an apartment with a bunch of plans. What I'm trying to say is that one of the things that I've learned in 23 is that the romanticized version of the future, it'll never come. It'll never feel like the version of life in your mind in real life. It's kind of like once you realize that, you have to mourn that life, that idealized version of what life can be or you feel like it should be. But then it's also really nice because in this last year, I have appreciated so much more about just like what my life is actually like and what I'm grateful for and the smaller moments that bring me joy. So that's really cool. I do think that comes just like with age. I obviously still slip into the comparison mindset and like escape fantasies of, oh, what if I lived in such or such place? Like I would just be be my best self. But my best self is not some future version of me. Like I can be my best self now and enjoy my life with all its beautiful offerings as they exist right now around me. So, to anyone out there who also romanticizes, I hear you, I see you, and I also just encourage you to like let go of the idea that you will someday be this like radically different person. Not to say we can't change and transform, etc. But just like, you know, tune into your surroundings, tune into the joys that you can find every day. And everybody out here is probably like, oh my God, he's beating that face to a fucking pulp. Can he move on from the foundation? And you're right, I do not, as it turns out, have good skills in both doing makeup and talking, so quick little and we will carry on. Okay, next I'm going in with my e.l.f. Concealer. This is a 16-hour camo concealer in medium peach. I love it when the word peach is in makeup products. I just think that's such a pleasant image, peach. And one of my favorite fruits. I think plums might be my favorite fruit, or cherries. I'm gonna really miss stone fruit season. I got a tip from an Instagram follower that I was using too much concealer, and I think even this still is too, but like I've been trying to do just a couple dots worth on each side because I want to avoid that cakiness. And I'm going to play tennis later, so I will have to take all of this off. But to get ready with me for going to play tennis is not that entertaining. So we're making our own reason to get ready. What's next? Okay, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder to set the concealer area. Let's see, what else has 23 brought me in terms of insight, etc. I mean, a major thing for my 23rd year, obviously, is the coronavirus. So that has taught me some lessons in and of itself. And I think the coronavirus in particular, and 23 in general, like a takeaway is just to be gentle with myself and to forgive myself for so many things that I don't currently, but like, you know, starting and stopping creative projects, or feeling like bad at communication. I always blame myself for not reaching out to friends more, reaching out to family, etc. And those are things that I do genuinely want to work on, but the shame element of it, I don't think helps anyone. So yeah, just learning to be more mindful of like the way that I talk to myself has been important. Another takeaway from the corona times has been that I feel more capable of creative things now, like more than ever. I leaned into creative self-portraits during the, also by the way, as I'm talking, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. contour palette. But yeah, leaning into creative self-portraits during the corona, earlier quarantine is really when it like started, was such a great reminder that I am creatively competent and like I can make things that I really enjoy and that other people really enjoy. I definitely find it hard sometimes to like find confidence as a creative person, just because it's so easy to compare yourself to what other people are doing creatively, especially on things like social media, and just to feel like the way you're doing it is not good enough, or you know, you just don't have the skills, you don't have the equipment, etc., etc. And what developing like a daily practice taught me was it just like, it literally is just practice. In order to get better at creative things, I just had to practice. I was not a creative self-portrait person at all before this, and I practiced every single day and I got better, and I honed in my editing skills and my the way I thought about like framing and, you know, the more technical things. And I also just gained confidence, and that really came across, I think, in the results. So yeah, the takeaway is just like to not let the fear of failure hold me back. And that's like a major, that's not like, I didn't come up with that, of course, but sometimes you have to like experience the advice or experience the thing in order for it to really like sink in that deep body knowing way. So to know, to have the confirmation that yes, I can do these really creative, perhaps intimidating things, but to know that I'm capable of that, I think is a lesson that I will carry with me into the future, hopefully. And so I will bring less trepidation into creative projects or just creativity in general, and bring more confidence and more curiosity and like willingness to explore and just, you know, see what works and see what doesn't. None of these things are going to show up like that. But it's the bodyography, it's the combo of bronzing and highlighting, and I kind of just like rub it around both and then do that classic, like people say, do the 3. Obviously don't have the lower half to do. I don't do any makeup in my beard. But kind of just brushing on a little bit to the sides. I don't want it to be like dark looking at all. But just to add a little bit of glow. Like a little sun-kissed. This is my favorite brush by far. I just love the way it makes me feel. It's like so elegant. Something that I want to work on in my 24th year is really just finding my confidence, finding my voice, my self-assurance. That definitely comes across in social media in terms of like, I have this weird tendency to feel like other people are doing things right and I'm doing things wrong. And I'm slowly unlearning that in different areas, but when it comes to things like social and political issues, I definitely have a tendency to just like step back and observe And I want to be better at just being a little bit more bold and like, obviously not just unfiltered saying whatever comes to mind. I'm never going to be that person, but feeling confident that I have something valuable to share, or that my perspective or take on things matters, and not just like defaulting to listening or like, you know, agreeing with others, but really just like taking the time to genuinely share what I have to say. I think it just stems from like feeling or fearing that other people will already know this, and then being, I don't know what it is, like judged, that they'll be like, ugh, we already knew that. It's not logical at all, obviously, because when I dive into what the feeling actually is, like, it's just, I think, some sort of like self-protection, like the fear of judgment or embarrassment, that is totally not serving me. So yeah, I want to just not assume that what I have to say has already been said, or assume that others could say it better, and just like be more willing, learn or grow to be more willing to like put my voice out there. That's a goal for 2024. Alrighty, let's see now. Moving on to what? I think eyes. I know that I'm going to use this Wet n Wild blue mega liner because it's so fun. It's called Voltage Blue. And before that, I'm going to prime my eyelids with a little bit of concealer. I for sure also want to like be more mindful of the way that I use social media. I feel most connected to social media with like the way that I feel like I benefit from it when I'm posting, rather than just like consuming, because it's so easy to fall into that trap. I'm sure I'm not the only one listening to this that can resonate with just like the scroll of Instagram and YouTube even, and other stuff. And so I want to lean into the creation side of these platforms that I find really inspiring and fulfilling, and be more mindful about how much time I spend consuming. I also just want to say, like, as I'm saying these goals, which I think this goal is kind of ironic that I'm about to say, but you know, I wanna maybe try and set less goals in a way, like, you know, just appreciating more often the wonderful parts of myself and the parts that I've really grown in, like that. I want to highlight that more often in my own mind space. I can definitely, and we all think I can, I'm guilty of sometimes, just like entering into the mindset of like, how can I grow? How can I improve? How can I, you know, what should I be doing differently? What can I be doing better? And like, I want to develop a little bit better of a practice of like saying the things that I just love about myself and like owning those. Because I feel lucky to genuinely be able to say I love myself in a really deep, profound way. Not every single part of myself every single day, but I'm really happy with my life and who I am in the world. So I want to like give myself more credit for that, I guess. Okay, we're going in with a BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil. And I'm going in with this like nice little, hard to see on there, but it's like it's in the medium pink range. Cute. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a lighter shade and a blending brush. And I'm just gonna blend some of this lightness into the inner corner. Now I'm gonna do this eyeliner, and this is gonna be a little tricky. Okay, I think it looks good enough. I'm gonna call it there for the eye. I've been into no mascara looks lately because it just helps my eyes look more open. When I have mascara on, like, it looks sexy and dramatic, but I like to keep those puppies open sometimes. I'm gonna move on to lip. might go in with this metallic-y, I got this in Prague actually, it's so random. My BFF lipstick in My Tender Pink. I don't know, so random, but it does have a nice like metallic-y shimmer to it. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna move on to blush, which is my favorite part of any makeup look that I do. I just love the way the blush makes me feel. This is my all-time favorite. It's Burt's Bees All Aglow. And this is a lip and cheek stick. I've actually only ever used it on my cheeks, but I'm gonna kind of do a lot right now because I've been watching a lot of that show. Its name is escaping me. The Great, about like Catherine the Great. I think I'm gonna see if I wanna wear a wig or not, so we're gonna try a couple on. I think it would be between these two. They're both kind of a similar cut, and that could be fun, definitely. I'm gonna try the black first, just to see. Ooh, that's definitely fun. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna try the pink one. Damn, that's also really fun. I think I'm gonna go with the black today, though. I'm feeling a little mysterious. I'm kind of liking that, but I'm not sold. I wish I could ask what we thought. But by the time you've watched this, I've already turned 24, and I've already made the decision. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with it. Now we just gotta find a shoot idea / location. Ah! Okay, let's go do that. I'm honestly kind of loving the light in the bathroom. Let's see if we can make it work. Okay, so the card is full. I'm gonna take that as my cue, and I think hopefully there's a shot in there that worked. I got a couple different angles. Sorry that the angle that I shot at for this video was like so obscure. The light was just like fading, and I was like setting it up quickly, so let's go see now what we can do with what we got. I'm so excited. Okay, that is it for today's Get Ready With Me. Thank you all for hanging out. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I think we got some really good images. Obviously, you'll see the results. I already took the dress off because it is a little tight on my boobies. But now I'm gonna go have a little snack and then meet up with my friend Arel to play some tennis. So, I'll check in with y'all next video. Bye!